What's up, YouTube? It's Joe Catchpolia sitting on the couch making some money investing in fractional real estate online as usual. Today I'm going to just show you a little deal that I did on Lofty. It's one that I definitely could have done a lot better on, but I wanted to show you how I did. Um, it's this 12028 Wade Park. This is one that I bought, entirely because I thought the token price was very low relative to the real world price. I think it is still somewhat low, but I think the chance of pushing to get this to a sale is close to zero now, at least in the near term, because we just changed managers. So anyway, I bought some of these tokens on November 22nd at 1820. This is going to be a spreadsheet day, so we're going to look at this. And so I did, with fees and everything, I had spent 1820, but actually my cost per token 1966. So I bought 10 tokens that day, a total of $196. I forgot to put my alerts on right away for this, and so I missed buying when they had these additional dips. And this is one of the things, I normally would have continued to buy, especially on these really low ones, because as I talk about often, right, is the real benefit to this strategy is we know the real world, or we have a good, solid opinion of what this real world asset is worth. And so I don't expect this price should never go to zero. There's not a mortgage or anything, so it's not as if our equity is going to be wiped out. Um, it's just very so I really wish I had caught these, right? If I had bought some more tokens here, my analysis would be, we'd be looking at much cooler numbers today. But I missed them. But I did get my alerts turned on recently, and today I got an alert that the price had gone up. I don't know, to around $22. I actually think it's funny that it's showing that because I think that I sold for slightly above that. But so let's see. So today we did get a note that said there was a governance vote. I actually missed it somehow, but they're switching this over to Y Home Management. A lot of the people really like him as a manager. He's not doing great on the couple of properties that I own with him. I think he recently mentioned he took over 20 properties in a last, I don't know what period of time, but so working through a lot of them. It's understandable, but I don't have the positive view of this that I think a lot of people do. But because of that change in management, I think is what got some additional people to jump into this one, move the price up. I'm not sure why it's showing 22. Oh, because that was my net sale after. Okay, that's why. So I was able to sell them at 23.50 per token. But after the fees, it cost me $22.21 per token, and that matches up exactly with what it shows here. So again, only had 10 tokens because I missed these other buying periods. So my total proceeds, $222. So we're not talking about a huge profit or a huge investment here. I think part of this is I'm just still uh pretty new to this, and so if I had been buying some of these tokens further back, there were other cheap buying opportunities, and I don't know, who knows, maybe I would have sold out earlier because they did pop way up. I think that this could look a little bit different if I had bought more tokens, and especially if I had bought more during the subsequent dips. And I really just don't know how I missed them. I think I didn't have these alerts set, or sometimes they'll drop and then go right back up really quick. Although I don't think it doesn't look like that's what happened here. Um, Although this is the same day. That's the same day. And let's see. Oh, that's yeah. So it moved up again pretty quick in the same day, but definitely should have taken advantage and bought some more, but I didn't. That's okay. But so the net sale there is just $25, 25.52. But again, that's $25 that I made just while sitting on the couch, right, doing nothing other than just making a quick buy and a quick sell. Um, so not a great use of my time at the moment, but it is I think it's one of the things I'm doing here is really trying to experiment with the platform. I've mentioned a few times I'm really not trying to put real money on this yet. Although some of them I'm starting to accumulate a pretty good stake. But it is, especially when it's one like this where I didn't do a ton of due diligence, it's really just based on a couple of items. I'm very happy to just make these quick profits because I'm spending time on the site anyway to look at other things, right? And it's not like this is taking a tremendous amount of time to just pick up these extra ones. Now, I did stake this one, so I put it in the I put it in my I had staked these, and so made 79 additional cents with the staking. Um, again, it's because I didn't have it very long, but I've got to add that to my profit. So my total profit is $26.31. It's a 13.38% ROI. Yeah, it's not bad from by any way of looking at it, right? It's a decent ROI. But my holding period was only 20 days, right? And one of the things I think it's a little bit funny to annualize returns in scenarios like this because it's not as if I'm going to reinvest this today and get the same return again. But I think it's good to look at both because like this does seem like 13.38% return. It's a good return, relative to a lot of things, but I think that it's not super impressive, and it's definitely underrepresentative of what I think you can do on this site with this strategy. And it's because I made that return in 20 days, not it wasn't a year. So I think something between these two numbers um, is really what the potential is. I think I won't reinvest this money today, but I think I'll get it reinvested, and I'll probably get to do this two or three more times over the next year. And so maybe I'll get 4x that ROI on this money. And I'll have some where I put it in and potentially make a loss, or some that maybe money will get stuck in something and I'll get a very low return. And I'll give you an example. And that's why this is just all really speculative at this point. I put money. I think I had talked about the cash that I had staked in Walsh, and this money's stuck in here now. There's a big penalty to take it out, and I've only made so far, less than 2% return, and I think it's been in there almost 3 full months now. Definitely over two, and so I'm going to get a really low ROI on these funds. Um, I think on balance, I will get fantastic returns with the strategies that I'm doing, but it is taking a lot of work. My return on time, like again, I mean, $26 for this buy and this sell isn't it an amazing return on time? If I had bought more when I bought them and sold more when I sold them, then it would be better. At the same time, it would move, with the way prices work on here, me buying those tokens and me selling tokens, actually affects the price more than you would expect, right? I mean, you can see it's already 22.05. What did I have it at? 22.21. There hasn't been another sale, so I've moved the price down just for me doing this. And if I had, you know, a large amount, then it would not be great, and I'd have to do this over time, right? But there certainly was the opportunity to buy more cheaper, that I just missed, and so then if I sold 10 today and sold 10, in another couple of days, I mean, you can just see the opportunities here to make really good returns. You just have to be a little bit more diligent than I was on this one. And, I'm just not sure. I'm not sure if there's ever going to be a point where I'm going to get to put large sums to work and then actually be able to sell them without crushing the market order, which is another part of the reason why the ones that I want to really accumulate, for example, the one that I'm really accumulating some tokens in, I've got Odom here, I've got 255 so far. We're getting close to where I'd call this a significant investment. It's still much less than if I was buying an investment property. But this is my largest experiment to date, but it's one I don't think that the token price as it goes up, I don't think I'll be able to sell out tokens, but I think we're going to sell this one in the real world and to be able to get a real return. Um, there's a couple others where I have, larger number of tokens, but I think that's yeah, a couple that I've got 150 and 121. Um, I think we'll see this one moving up. We have some interesting stuff happening to it, so I'll probably have a video about that up soon. In any case, I really just want to show you, what this looked like as far as a quick buy and sell, 20-day hold period, decent return, and as far as I'm concerned, this is very low risk relative to a lot of the things that you could invest in that would get you this type of return in a short period of time. Now, obviously I bought it at 18 and it went down to 11. So if I had needed to liquidate that, there's real risk of locking up money and having that go down. But because I'm very confident in what this home would sell for, I think that the chance of, over a long period of time, me having a loss like that is very unlikely. Um, I think, honestly, at this point, my opinion of the biggest risk on Lofty in particular when using this strategy is more than anything the market risk, the platform risk, right? Like the risk that something happens to Lofty and my tokens become untradeable. Um, I think there's a bigger risk there than me actually losing money by picking certain tokens, with specific properties. Obviously something catastrophic could happen at the property and reduce the price to close to zero. But especially like if you had gotten in at this $11, I mean, you're probably not much different from land value at that point. I mean, how much? Let's look at 4,000. Yeah, I mean, you're talking less than $50,000 or right around $50,000. Yeah, that's probably higher than land value, but it's probably not much higher, right? So I don't know. Thought this was interesting. As I'm getting some of these successful exits or any exit, if I sell any for a loss, I'm going to share those as well. Even though they're small, very very small dollar amounts at the moment. I think it's interesting to sort of over time prove this concept a little more and more. Um, you know, the reason, and I think I mentioned this too, but the reason I got out is with the new manager, I think it's very unlikely that the people are going to sell it. But I also don't think that we're going to start getting to see a return anytime really soon. You could certainly be wrong, but for me, there's no harm in getting out with a profit, and then I'm going to put it into some of the other ones that continue to be, a bigger discount, and that I think I'm going to make some money on. We'll see how that works out. In any case, until next time, as usual, I will keep making mistakes